Hello, my name is Monica Gomez, and I'm making a Hillary Clinton video, support video, and I am supporting Hillary Clinton, what I call Shillaria Quintona, and my Queenlish literature line queenage, and it's my own way of language. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I believe Hillary Clinton would make a great president, and because she is good on issues such as abortion choices, and she's good on issues of healthcare and gun control, and there's immigration also. That's another one I looked at, and I just think that she's been fighting for this. Not just think, and I've done research on her. She's been fighting for her campaign since the 60s, and she's been bypassed. What I've noticed, she's been bypassed by a lot of presidents over the years of the 60s because she's a female. And this brings us all back to the time with the 1800s women's suffrage, where women, in all reality, that people don't really realize this until they read history books. What they call history books, I call her story books, because it's about her story, not his story. But it's not anything sexist or racist. But I get a lot of attacks like that because they're counterattacks, strategies where people try to control a certain type of dominance. I get that a lot from male activists. And when I say male activists, there is such a thing, because if they wouldn't group up like that to isolate control to their side, there would be no such thing as male activism, but there is such a thing. I remember watching my college history books and seeing men all over the place posting big fucking signs that said women are not allowed to vote and we're not allowed to have choices. Well, we are. You know what? We are allowed to have choices. We've been fighting to vote forever. And this is why there was a French Revolution back in the day. And I studied politics, I studied military books, and there was a big fight about this. A lot of women got murdered, they got killed, they got stalked, harassed, bothered, raped, molested. There was so much shit going on back in that time with the French Revolution. It had a lot to do with women not being allowed to make their own choices. So, when a woman comes up in the presidential election, and she's fighting, and she's been fighting since the 60s, this is a true reality. You have to see her videos. When she was young, she's been fighting a long time, and all this stupid talk about that she's a sorceress, and there's all this counter attacks where she's a fucking evil monster. That's just stupid. Because, you know what? Women since the 1800s and even before that, there have been aristocrat women, they've been in control, and they've been fighting off all this stupid male bigotry shit, you know, and it's gonna be like that, where men try to outsmart us, try to outthink us, but guess what? It's just a try. That's all it is. It's psychological behavior. Attitude problems they have, and they need to control themselves. Speaking of control, you know, I love control myself. This is why I make this video, because what I want to focus on Hillary Clinton's campaign is the animal welfare issue. That is what I noticed wasn't on her issues. Out of all the healthcare reforms, out of all the gun control, and out of all this other stuff, she does not have animal welfare issues. I would really like it if she focused more on health, animal welfare issues, because there's a lot of bad stuff going on, evil attacks on animals. Animals have no voices. All they can do in a human speech, but they can communicate with their own voice, yes, through the way they ultrasound waves. They communicate through ultrasound waves and body language. This is how animals communicate. They know when they're sad, happy, angry, whatever. Hungry. And this is how we communicate. Through their own special way of communication. So, I would really like it if Hillary Clinton focused more on animal welfare issues, got it out there, so there can be more education on this, because people really need to learn more how to be compassionate for animals. Not just homeless people, not just people who suffer from poverty, not just people with healthcare issues. This is way more than that, because animals suffer more because they don't have programs. They don't have other solutions. They don't have a wealth program for them like the way people do. People can get homeless, they can become rich after they become homeless, turn into aristocrats, and then jump everywhere else which way they want. It's a fact. It happens. This is why, and animals can't do that. Once an animal's poor and they're up in a cage for sale, it becomes an issue. Who are they going to get sold to? Who's going to adopt them? Who's going to take care of them? And who, where are these laws to take care of them too? I need something from Hillary Clinton. I need a powerful message that states that animals will be taken care of. And I'm not just speaking about domesticated animals, like cats and dogs in America. And I know I don't like the fucking Yulin dog meat trade and cat meat trade. I'm still fighting that through online petitions. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking, but not right now, but yes, I'm still making that a major issue, because that is in another country and it still needs to be dealt with. I'm talking about right now what's going on in my local community, in my local America, and I'm still raising the question. I want her, what is she going to do with animal welfare issues? Is she going to really help, or is she just going to pass on by while everybody eats a steak, a chicken burger, and then think there's nothing wrong with it? And I'm not just speaking about domesticated animals. I'm speaking about farmer animals too. When are they going to write against it in the legal books? This is what they need to focus on. Helping and caring for the animals instead of attacking them as if it's a normal thing, because there's all these excuses that, you know what, we were taught this since we were early revolution. This is from our ancestors. We pass it on. But that's not even true. That's not true. That is a false statement, because you know why? Because if that was true, then you know what? Our ancestors killed a lot of people. I'm an interracial myself. I'm part white too. So that makes me okay. That makes me good, AQ, to go and kill people because my ancestors thought it was a good thing. It was military approved. Or non. I mean, it's fine that I can go on a rampage and just continue the same ancestral lineage that my ancestors did, because it's a good thing. It's what the ancestors wanted. This is what I'm talking about. It's a false statement, one false statement after another, to make goods of sales for bad business. And I just want to know, what is she going to do to help support the animal welfare causes? I want her to really think about this, sleep on it, and really think, you know what, is this a moral good or a moral bad? And what am I going to do to change and better myself for this question? What are all these topics that are going to rise? Hypothesis. What am I going to put into analytical statement that's going to be factual, that's going to be supportive among all of us? I want to know what she's going to do about that. This is why I make this video. And enough, I know she's trying to help all this other causes. I know she's going to make a great president. But I want to know what she's going to do with the animal welfare causes. I'm signing off, and I will keep you updated, and I will keep on doing research and trying to figure out how I can figure out all these petitions to fight against all this evilness about attacks to animals, animal terrorists, because there is such a thing. There's a lot of animal terrorists in this world. There's not just people terrorists. Don't think that. There's animal terrorists every day of our lives. They torture us, even people. So how is she going to help that cause? Sein Queen of Monique Gomez. Auf Wiedersehen.